Yo, yo, what's going on? What's popping? What's popping? What's up? What's up? A lot of people may not know this about me, but I'm a big believer in eugenics. All right? Eugenics. For those of you slow motherfuckers in the back of the bus that don't know anything about eugenics, research it for yourself. I'm not going to waste my time trying to break something down to you guys who's supposed to be thinking black males and females, Eugenics. Eugenics. I believe that some people in this world do not deserve to be given the gift of life, thus don't deserve to be here. All right? Because certain people, or certain groups of people, just ruin society. All right? And one of these groups of people is the weak Negro male. Okay? The weak Negro male. Now, am I saying that all so-called black males? What's going on, Sheila E? What's up, Sheila E? What's going on? Sheila E, I saw your video earlier today. It's pretty good, pretty good. Yeah, Jersey Hammer. Yeah, Jersey Hammer. Exactly. Lifeguard of the gene pool. Yeah. Yep. That's exactly what eugenics is. The lifeguard of the gene pool. You see, eugenics is not a bad thing. See, when you look at the history of eugenics in Western society, my issue with that is how eugenics was used. It was used to target a specific race of people. It was used to target people from a specific economic class. It was used to target people, who just have, certain people by race, ethnicity, and class. That's what it targeted. That's what eugenics targeted, or those are the group of people that eugenics targeted. And I have an issue. That's what I disagree with. Eugenics supposed to target, or should target, the socially inept, the fucking retards, and the individuals who just cannot utilize critical thinking skills, who just lack common sense. People like that, they need to be taken away from this earth, because these types of people just ruin society. But I'm going to target the weak Negro male, the weak ass Negro male, because the weak ass Negro male is what ruins so-called black society. The weak ass Negro male is what ruined these different spaces on social media. Remember, it's the weak ass Negro male who actually failed to continue the fight that brothers like Huey P. Newton, Malcolm X, Marcus Garvey, and even Dr. Martin Luther King fought, and decided to get on crack, and decided to get hooked on crack cocaine and all this bullshit. It's the weak ass Negro male who came into spaces like these and destroyed it, to the point and destroyed it by taking a space that was about improving the lives and conditions of the black male collective, to then complaining about the lack of sexual access from females. This is the weak ass Negro male. And one of the biggest things with the weak ass Negro male is that they love to try to assassinate the character of strong black men. They love to target, slander, and do anything it takes to try to destroy the reputation of stronger black men. Because strong black men who are headstrong, intelligent, secure within themselves, confident, outspoken, honest, bold, in which that's what a man's supposed to be, intimidate these weaker level of these Negroes, right? They intimidate them, make them feel, they make these lesser males feel inferior, in which they are inferior. What's going on, Toy the Tutor? In which these lesser males are inferior. Thus, as a way for them to feel superior internally, they have to try to do things to assassinate the character of males who are stronger and better than them. Let's keep it real. There is a such thing as better men. There is a such thing as better women. There is a such thing as better people. Some people are just better than other people in life. I'm better than most of these niggas on here. And as I say that, I just pop my collar, nigga. See, the thing is with weaker males have a history of trying to kill better males who actually help improve society. That's what weaker males do. This is why there must be an extinction of the weak ass Negro male. You know, when you see all this incel shit, right? When you see these mass shootings, because there have been different events in America where there have been mass shootings, although these mass shootings mostly are done by Caucasian males, but you know, that's still a good example of weak males, right? When you see these, you know, certain males engage in these mass shootings, and come to find out that these mass shooters are affiliated with incel content on the internet. This is an example of weak males destroying society. So males like that need to be they need to be extinct. I mean, it's these weak ass males. Now, as far as these so-called black spaces on the internet, right, on social media, so like the so-called black manosphere, it is these weak ass black males that have allowed dating coaches, PUAs, also known as pickup artists, and sex traffickers to come into the space and be embraced into the space. For they could deceive the next generation of so-called black males coming up. All this is done because of weak ass Negro males coming into this space. And unfortunately, the weak ass Negro male far outnumber strong males. Yo, you know what's so funny? Early in the video, when I said that I'm better than most of these niggas here, my views drop, which is cool. What up, Tyrone? What up, Tyrone Church? A lot of them needs to be a lot of these weak ass Negro males needs to be extinct. I mean, you know you a weak ass nigga when you out here listening to a fucking dating coach or a pickup artist telling you how to get girls. Like, nigga, something gotta be wrong with you. I mean, a lot of these weak ass Negro males. What I realize about them is that within their pathetic lives, they have not done enough socializing outside in the real world in order for them to gain any real life experiences or real life interactions with human beings face to face. Thus, they lack the knowledge of the different types of human beings that exist and the different levels of behaviors that human beings do. Thus, they don't even understand what human beings are capable of doing to them. Because they lack real life experiences and real life face to face human interaction, they don't understand the evil things that humans can do, nor do they understand the good things that humans can do. See, when you've experienced different sides of human beings and different types of human beings, you will form a certain level of awareness to the point of fact that you can tell if someone is trying to play you or trying to deceive you. Or you can tell if someone is looking out for your best interest. Therefore, if you've had enough human interaction in your real life and you go on social media and you see these dating coaches and these PUAs telling you some of the most dumbest shit that you could ever imagine, your experience through having face-to-face human interactions in your life will let you be aware that these dating coaches and these PUAs are just deceiving you and trying to hustle you. But your weak ass never knew that because you were too goddamn nervous to fucking go out there in the real world and just socialize with fucking people. And a lot of that is your fucking mama's fault because the bitch thought it was a good idea to keep you locked inside of the house. And you, like a little bitch, got so scared your ass didn't sneak out. Like me, motherfucker, when I was coming up, I snuck out the house. Even though my folks, my family were never that type of family that kept me locked in the house. But when it was curfew, fuck it, I snuck out the house. Shit. You know what I'm saying? But these weak niggas don't fuck this space all up, man. But going back to this dating coach and this PUA shit, right? Because a lot of these weak ass niggas lack the necessary amount of human interaction in order for them to realize when they're being deceived on social media, they're actually stupid enough to believe that these different content creators, these different personalities of the manosphere that these different Dane coaches and PUAs are looking out for their best interest, thus allowing these individuals to take money from them while giving them some of the worst fucking advice when it comes to how to interact with the opposite sex. And it's so stupid and sad at the same time to see that shit. Like, a lot of these weak ass Negro males actually go on YouTube to look for digital daddies. In other words, they rely on YouTube to look for role models to look up to. That's fucking sad. Nigga, you gotta rely on some interactive shit. You gotta rely on the internet to find a role model that you don't know in real life, that you've probably never seen before, that you never will ever see, to be your role model or your online daddy, because your hoe of a mother did not make the wise decision to choose the right male to procreate with. Nigga, that shit is sad. Sexy Red TV, Gold Professor, Bronze Bird, what's going on? That shit is so fucking sad. It's one thing if, whatever the case may be, if someone wasn't close to their biological fathers. Okay, that's one thing. So as a result, there's other men in your real life that played that positive male role model, whether it be a teacher that you had, or a mentor that you have in your real life, or, a basketball coach, or football coach, or baseball coach, one of your uncles, your stepfather, your older brother, your older male cousin. You see, that's something understandable. That's understandable if you had these individuals to play that positive male role model that your biological father should have played. At least these individuals would be people that you've had face-to-face human interactions with, so you actually got a chance to get to know them, and you get to know how they live their lives. And now you would understand through real life interaction what type of person to model yourself after. But when you try to look for a daddy figure on the internet, in which you don't know the motherfucker, you don't know how they truly live their lives, you don't know if they practice what they motherfucking preach. But at the same time, you give these niggas so much admiration, you venerate them so much, to the point of the fact that you give them a false sense of power online, to the point of the fact that you allow them to manipulate you, to do some dirty shit. Nigga, you need to be fucking eliminated, man. Fuck that. You's a bitch ass nigga. People like you are what's wrong with society. The weak ass Negro male must be extinct. What's up, Azure Saint? Azure Saint, what's going on? The weak ass Negro male is the reason why you got a lot of these bitches walking around and having a level of power in society that they have. You talking about hoes are winning? Hoes are winning because of these weak ass Negro males. It's that simple. The fact that this space actually venerates people like Brittany Renner, who's a fucking groupie, shows you the type of weak Negro male that we have in society. The fact that we got a couple of bitch ass niggas who in the past got mad at me because I called some bitch a female instead of a woman is an example of a weak ass Negro male. I mean, you got niggas out here. You got niggas out here who are intimidated by my personality. Granted that they don't even know me in real life to even have a full scope of my personality. But it's just the fact that how straightforward I am, right? Because I'm straightforward as a motherfucker, right? And they see my tone, they hear the bass of my voice, and they see that you fuck with somebody serious. And they see the look in my face in these pictures that I post of myself, and they see that you fuck with somebody serious. That itself intimidates them. So they like to say shit about me to try to belittle my personality, such as people think that I'm not who I am, or I'm not who I portray to be on YouTube in real life. Now, in order for you to know that about me, you would have to know me in real life. In which most of you guys don't. Azure Saint says, it's like most adults don't know how to be adults. Like, how can you be offended about being called a female? Exactly. That's a very good question. I know it's a rhetorical question, but nonetheless, it's a very good point. Yeah, how could you be offended by that? What's going on, Third World? What's up? What's up? And the thing is that you could belittle who you think I am while you're online, but understand that that would never work with me face to face. And I let people know, I'm not hard to find. Because unlike a lot of you guys, I'm always outside. Bro, get the fuck out of here, bro. I don't need no virtue hug. I don't need no virtue hug. Get the fuck out of here. These niggas need virtue hugs, though. Not me. But, and the thing is that a lot of these weak ass Negro males, they do not understand the difference between. Oh, you saying them? Yeah, they need some virtue hugs. Yeah, okay, yeah. But going on to what I'm saying, another thing with a lot of these weak ass Negro males is that being that a lot of them lack real life interaction out in the real world, they don't understand the difference between a male or a man who's just straightforward and outspoken and someone who's trying to be quote unquote hard. They don't understand the difference between a man who stands on his square and stands bold behind what he believes in, and someone who's trying to be a bully. What's going on, Jalen the Man of Storm? And I'm saying that because some people think, these weak ass Negro males, when they hear me, some of them, well, the weak ass Negro males, not the real brothers out there, the weak ass Negro males, think that I'm trying to be a bully. In which I'm trying to figure that out, because how could I bully someone behind a computer screen? Like I don't have. I'm trying to figure that out. How am I trying to bully somebody behind a computer screen? So really, am I trying to be a bully, or am I just a man who stands on my square and stands strong behind what I believe in? See, this is what I'm saying. These weak ass Negro males are the reasons why you see a lot of these online, these online arguments between each males. See, weak ass Negro males are the reasons why we as so-called black males in this space cannot grow to the next level and actually do things on a bigger scale to help the black male collective thrive in society. Whenever you have so-called black males who are saying, hey, listen, let's organize together, let's be politically active, and help change laws in society that's going to benefit the black male collective. Let's stop focusing on complaining about these females, because you know what? We already know how a lot of so-called black females are. We already know how, not all of them, but we already know how a lot of them behave. We already know that a lot of so-called black females, especially in America, were socially engineered to behave in a way that is to behave in a way that is not conducive to having healthy relationships with them. We get that. But guess what? At the same time, we as black males, we go through even more problems. Hell, we go through bigger problems than they are. So how is us sitting there spending time at a time complaining about them is going to improve our situation? Let's come together. Let's improve the certain problems that black males are going through. Let's do that. What do you have? What's going on, Mike V? And what you got? You got more grifting. You got more complaining. You got people making claims that brothers like Mike V and Complex Design and the Black Brain Trust are not being impactful enough. You got these fucking defeatist excuses saying that, well, that's not going to happen because feminism will stop you. That's not going to happen because the white man will stop you. This is weak ass Negro shit. That's exactly what it is, man. That's weak Negro shit. What's going on, Real Deal Financial? Weak ass Negro shit. I mean, let's just keep it real now. There is a such thing as better men, and there's a such thing as lesser males. There is. There is. And like I said, these weak ass Negro males is what's stopping black males as a collective from growing and thriving and actually um, overcoming the many obstacles that we suffer from as a collective. Too many of them. There's too many of them. Unfortunately, they outnumber the real men. I mean, the weak ass Negro male are the ones always talking about celebrity relationships. I'm like, what? I thought females were the only ones to focus on celebrity relationships. What the fuck? I mean, these Negro males actually know they have like they have they'd be like the first ones to have an info when two celebrities break up and get a divorce. I'm like, what the fuck? I ain't never gave a fuck about whether celebrities break up or have a relationship. I'm like, I don't give a fuck about that. That ain't my business. If two adults have a relationship or a marriage and it unfortunately dissolves, that ain't none of my damn business. I don't give a fuck about that. I got bigger things to worry about than that bullshit. These niggas, these weak ass Negro males, have turned the black manosphere into the National Enquirer, the National Nigger Enquirer. Once again, stunting the growth of the black male collective. Look here. Let me tell you something. You know, when I always give these stories about Black Manosphere 1.0, and when Mike V give these stories about Black Manosphere 1.0, we speak about the first flagging wars that happened in like 2008, right? Where a lot of so-called black females were flagging black male channels on YouTube. That's true. That's true. That happened. And even in 2012, you had another flag. You had the second flag wars in these black spaces where you had so-called black females once again flagging the channels of black male content creators. But guess who was going along with them? These weak ass black males. As a matter of fact, when it comes to my first the Wacky World of O account, because this account is my second account that I started in 2012. My first Wacky World of O account that I opened up in 2008 got flagged in 2012, falsely flagged in 2012 because someone falsely accused me of hate speech. And you know what was behind that? Weak ass black males. It was so-called black males that had my first account flagged, not black females, which is ironic because I used to go in on so-called black females and their bad behavior. But for some reason, they was never the ones to flag me. It was a lot of so-called black males who flagged me. To be specific, black males who profess to be members of the Hebrew Israelite community, because they did not like what I said about the Hebrew Israelite community. They didn't like the criticisms I gave to the Hebrew Israelite community at the time. But yeah. They'll be crying about anything. Yeah. They cry about anything. They destroy progress. They destroy a lot of progress. Gold Professor says the difference between thinking black men and non-productive emotional males. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, there's a big difference. Sakbase, what's going on? What's going on, Sakbase? What's going on? Hold on for a minute. Hold on for a minute. But fuck it, that's all I got to say pertaining to that. That's all I got to say pertaining to this shit. What I'm going to do, I'm going to post the link in the video description box for those who would like to come on the panel and add something to the conversation. If not, I'll just leave. You know, if y'all not willing to come on the panel, if y'all not willing to click the link to come on the panel, then I'm just getting out of here. And that's one of the biggest things that I can't stand about the weak ass Negro male. That they destroy growth for the collective. Whenever you try to do something bigger for the collective, here they come with their dysfunctional behavior, destroying progress and destroying growth. Whenever you try to do something bigger for the collective, here they come with their defeatist arguments. Here they come trying to start some quote unquote beef with you. Here they come trying to literally destroy what you're trying to build. See, the biggest enemies of the so-called black male is who? The so-called black male. The biggest enemy of the so-called black male is not the so-called black female. It's not Caucasian people. It's not Asian people. It's not the small hats. It's not the LGBTQ community. The biggest enemies of so-called black males are so-called black males. We are our biggest enemy. And a primary example of that is what you see within the so-called black manosphere, where you have so many splinter groups within the so-called black manosphere because a lot of people are just so segmented, are just so separate from each other, are just so segmented or separated apart from each other. We are our biggest enemy. Shoot. So I have to correct Obsidian because Obsidian, back in 2017, 2018, and 2019, would always make this quote. He would always state that the biggest problem facing Black America in the 21st century is that black men and women can't get along. I have to disagree with that. I might say that's one of the top 5 problems facing black America in the 21st century. But the biggest problem facing black America in the 21st century is that the so-called black male can't get along with each other. That's the biggest problem facing black America in the 21st century. The demographic of people who are supposed to be the leaders of black society can't get along with each other. Why? Because the black male collective have been infiltrated by too many weak ass Negro males. And you see that in everyday life out in the real world. How a so-called black male want to be so quick to take the life of another so-called black male over a female who's playing the both of them. So instead of saying, you know what, bitch, you messing with him and me at the same time, yo, you a hoe. I ain't fucking with you no more. Goodbye, it's over. And walking away and just leaving that girl alone. They want to ruin their life by trying to take the life of another so-called black male. Thus, 2 lives are ruined. And we've seen that so many times in so-called black America. That's some weak ass Negro male shit. Because a strong man is going to, or if a strong man is in that predicament, he's going to automatically realize that the problem is the female that he's with. Thus, he's going to end that relationship with that female. He's not going to be so quick to take another person's life over some hoe that's playing the both of them. No. How many times do we see so-called black males being jealous of one another? How many times have we seen that? We've seen that so many times in the real world. You know, let's say a brother, so-called black male, he's doing good for himself economically. You know, all his hard work has paid off to the point of the fact that, I guess, you know, to the point of the fact that he's in business for himself. His business is thriving. He's successful. You know, he see all his hard work is actually reaping good fruit. So he's happy. He's comfortable. You know, the brother got himself he bought himself a nice little house, a nice car. You know, his family's well taken care of. He's well taken care of. But there's some jealous nigga seeing the fruits of his labor, not really seeing how hard he had to work in order to reap the fruits. He just sees the fruit that he reaps. And he becomes envious of that brother. So what he does, he wants to rob him. He wants to illegally take the resources that this man worked so hard to get, to the point that he's willing to take that person's life as a result of it. We even see the same jealousy here on YouTube. I know I said I was going to leave since none of y'all hit the link, right? I know I said I was going to leave, but I end up having more to say. But going on to what I'm saying, we even see this jealousy here on YouTube, where one black male content creator rises in popularity, right? He rises in popularity. He becomes more and more popular, right? He becomes more and more popular to the point of the fact that he end up hitting the mainstream. And he becomes so mainstream to the point of the fact that you see him in a certain rapper's, featuring in a certain rapper's music video. You see now celebrities talk to this famous content creator. And then what happens? You got other content creators who looks at him with envy and mad at him because he's more popular. So they always want to make videos talking shit about him. I mean, think about it. Supposedly grown men jealous of each other over popularity. Like, nigga, do you understand that you're jealous of another male over attention because that male receives more attention than you? Who has a tendency to act that way? It's females who have a tendency to act that way. But here you are acting the same way as these females, behaving the same way as these females. But that is the behavior of a weak-ass Negro male. So this is why I move to bring back eugenics. I mean, technically speaking, we already have eugenics in the form of abortions and stuff like that. But we need another major eugenics revolution in so-called black society, where weak-ass Negro males do not deserve to fucking procreate. Like I said, when it came to eugenics, I never had an issue with eugenics. I only had an issue with how it was being used. Because in the past, eugenics was used to target a specific racial group or an ethnic group of people. It was used to target a specific economic class of people. It was also used to target people who had physical disabilities. No. I have an issue with that. Because being a member of a certain racial group does not automatically mean that you should be sterilized. Being of a member of a certain ethnic group does not mean that you should automatically be sterilized. Being a member of a certain economic class does not mean that you deserve to be sterilized. Being physically disabled does not mean you deserve to be sterilized. But being dysfunctional, in my personal opinion, mean that you deserve to be sterilized. Because as you can see in Black America, dysfunction has been passed on from generation to generation. And the thing is, we live at a time now that there's so much dysfunction within so-called Black society that when you have a group of people who try to organize to eliminate this dysfunction, these dysfunctional people will try to fight with them to keep the dysfunction going. So what do you do in that predicament? What do you do? In my personal opinion, I move that you bring back eugenics, but you use that to target these dysfunctional ass niggas, especially these weak ass Negro males. And if anybody have a problem with what I just said, fuck you and your mama. I'm out this motherfucker.